Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Palace of Ice with me, Bring It On. Let's return to Violet's and give her the good news. I guess technically the bad news. Bad news turned to good news. Oh, never mind. We rested on the road.
How did it go?
You were right. One of Garad's troopers was a Sorak infiltrator.
Sweet Mother Maraiki, you killed it?
We did. Garad sends his regards.
That's good. Now, I've made some progress on Exanika's notes.
You haven't finished?
You didn't exactly leave me a lot of time. Though I'm glad for Garrett, of course. It's very fragmentary, and there are a lot of references to older times, but I have some clues. There is a passage, somewhere up north. A gate to the demon realms. There's a fortress, or prison, guarded by someone. Through a pact with Exanika. I don't think it's the Snow Alliance. It's something else.
What about the Pact of the Claw?
Where did you hear that name?
Vigdis told us about it. An old tradition.
It does. Yes, that word could mean claw in a way, I guess. Well, if that's it, this pact has a representative of sorts. A speaker.
Which means this old pact is much more important than Vigdis thought.
More than anyone thought. Who was that elder Vigdis talked about?
You must be speaking about Gorm the Wise.
Yes, that's it. Vigdis said she could have sent us to him, too.
Great. You can go to the White City through my gate. Gorm has one too.
And I thought those were rare.
Well, not anymore. Anyway, I need to clarify some more points here. As soon as I have more, I'll jump through my gate and bring you the news.
Understood.
Thanks for your help, Violet.
Let's go meet this Gorm.
I'm gonna head back to Awu Papunki real quick to buy a spellbook. I'm sure that White Rock City has one we can buy, but I know for sure I can get one here. An achievement. A bit cold, isn't it? I don't know if we'll need these at some point. I keep them on hand just in case. Alright, so the ingredient guy probably doesn't sell a spell book. But I assume the general merchant does. Cool. If I wanted to, I could go back to Violet's and rest for free, but it's 10 gold.
Well met, strangers. What's your poison?
We'd like to rest.
Enjoy your 4 beds.
I'd have more money than I'll probably ever spend. So at the very least, we can support local businesses. Here's what does he get at higher levels? Pretty good. We'll read it once we unlock it. Okay, what was I gonna grab here? Arcane Sword and Prismatic Spray? I should have changed my spells. It's fine. Also had to change what items are attuned to my ranger. So I don't need the... It's a short sword she currently has equipped. Sovereign. But I don't need to attune it to use it as a +3 weapon. I'd rather have that cloak equipped. Actually, we just do a short rest. Oh, it even says short rest next to where it says requires attunement. I missed that last time. Okay, to White Rock City. Valkar Rockgopun, White Rock City in Dwarvish, is the capital of the Snow Alliance.
Clear skies, sir. Are you Gorm the Wise?
Ah, yes. The heroes of the Rift. My eldest daughter had quite a few things to say about your stubbornness.
You're Hertha Gormsdottir's father.
Indeed. She represented the antiquarians in the Legacy Council.
Before she left?
Only to supervise our war effort, since the Alliance was drawn into the fray. Anyway, Lady Kaikonen told me what you're after. Demons. And yet you come from Master Gucci's laboratory.
We learned a lot about Exonica the Traveler.
The Manacallan Master, yes. That's her specialty, not mine.
The speaker.
What is the Speaker in the Pact of the Claw?
It seems to be an honorary title.
Nothing about being a guardian of something?
The original term for speaker is an old-fashioned dwarven. It can be interpreted in various ways. Keeper, father, leader. Although, despite the claws being transmitted through the years, no speaker has been chosen for hundreds of years. It would require the 5 clan chiefs to join here and take a vote.
The Pact of the Claw.
What can you tell us about the Pact of the Claw?
Since Lady Kaikonen told me about it, I reopened a number of books. This pact was sealed even before the Cataclysm. No wonder it has faded in our memories. I'm just starting to rediscover it. I need more time.
White Rock City.
Any advice on navigating the White City?
You should just know that it's a time of unrest. Refugees from the north are flooding the gates.
What's happening?
I have no idea. They're fleeing something.
You've been a great help. We believe that the Pact, Exonica, the demons, are all linked.
And you worry about the pact not having its speaker?
You said the 5 clan chiefs need to choose one.
Yes. And it will require the heroes of the Rift to reunite these 5 individuals. They're all stuck in their own clan's problems. I haven't seen them here in years.
Maybe. But if we're right, without a speaker, their problems will become much worse. Where can we find them?
I suggest you try to meet their representatives in this very city. Then you'll see how hard your task will be.
Can we count on you to continue reading your books?
Of course. I'll send for you as soon as I find out more.
Thank you.
A lot of the dialogue sounds really snarky and sarcastic.
We have a new letter from Beric Sunblaze.
Like when Gorm
We should
said,
write him back. Give some information about what we discovered.
like when Gorm said he didn't know why the refugees were fleeing the north. And my paladin was like, "You've been a great help." We count on you to continue reading your books. Oh yeah, the letter. Dear friends, I received word from Commander Miles at High Rock Outpost. He tells me you unraveled a Sorak network that linked a scavenger quartermaster named Hector to an infiltrator among his men. That means that despite their massive attack against Caer Cyflen, the Sorakath will have sleeping agents all over the Eastern Kingdoms. Keep up the good work. Every operation that we reveal is another blow to their evil plans. Einar guide you. Marshal Beric Sunblaze. Glad this one actually has his signature separated. Bark skin. Recipes that we probably don't need. And some books. The Snow Alliance, A History. I don't think we've read this yet. In those early days of its foundation, our brave Dwarvish houses each took responsibility for the defense of an entry point of the early settlements in the valleys and mines of White Rock. We call these alliances Bart Merchant, which translates loosely from the Old Dwarvish as Guardians of the Entries. Each group competing to outdo all the others in feats of engineering and martial prowess. As our lands expanded, other new clans and Bart Merchant were formed as was necessary and practical. The history of the Snow Alliance is as many splendored tale of victory through millennia of hardships and adversity, forged in centuries of struggle and wars against the elements, the monstrous inhabitants of the region, the predations of the Manacallan Empire, the chaotic and catastrophic opening of the Rift, the equally traumatic Cataclysm, the War of Sorrow, and later wars. The earliest Bart Merchant recorded were among the indigenous snow dwarves in and around Valkarakapun, White Rock City. and gnomes. They're added to the game with an expansion, along with tieflings. There's much mystery to the origins of gnomes. Which stories are to be believed is a question oft debated since they first emerged above ground after the Cataclysm. Are they a native species to Solasta, or did they come through the Rift? Did they exist on Farendroth at the dawn of Solasta's history? Are they a magically created species, or their own unique people? Who truly knows? The gnomes themselves are always evasive on the subject when pressed too hard by outsiders. Among many common tales gnomes have been heard to tell others, the most common include: we dug our way here from a world underneath Solasta and caused the rift, so we had to avoid taking the blame. We created a time travel machine which exploded. We lost all our memories and language. The dwarves and halflings taught us to read and write again. Millennia ago, deep under Farendroth, strange beings ate strange mushrooms. Out of this quite unique diet came the gnomes. Whatever the truth may be, we do know that gnomes are not as tall as halflings, nor as tall or as broad as dwarves. Their quite unique tongue appears to have many words with roots in ancient dwarven, and uses dwarven runes when written. They are well suited to living underground, being able to see well in poor light. They are often reclusive, smart, and have an amazing talent for tinkering, a knack for cunning and humor, and a flexible approach to honor and morality. A Guide to White Rock City. The roots of our mountains run deep, but none deeper or as wide as blessed Alcarakapun, known in the common tongue as White Rock City. Although our ancient metropolis has a history lost in time, we know that the Manicalan elves had yet to defeat the dragon menace when we mined the first of the finest marbles, granites, and fabulous quartz of rarest quality in the mountain's veins. When the Manicalan Empire first attacked us, the clan Kaikonin were already constructing fortifications, while Karakapun was by then a large city fueled by the discovery of veins of almost pure gold, silver, and flawless precious gems, positioned on a strategic pass linking the southern lands with the endless Great White to the north. The city not only expanded down through the mountain, using marvels of our dwarf engineering that include complex elevators, ventilation, and heating, but also out to the north and south, with substantial fortified areas and concentric rings. Since then, the Kaikonin, now known in the common tongue as the Kaikonin, have built ever larger, more complex fortifications, and many technological marvels within. This impeccable dwarvish foresight has allowed us snow dwarves and our allies in the Snow Alliance to protect our ever-growing wealth from outsiders, as we mine the fabulous mountain depths. Tieflings, demon spawn, or misunderstood. After much research, it is now known that tieflings are not, as had previously been rumored, in the Western Kingdoms or from another continent. After much effort and at great expense, we finally managed to get a group of tieflings to agree to be interviewed. How much of what they said is true is up for debate. Until we can unearth more evidence, the following is as good as we can get. The first tieflings were from Tirmar. They entered Solasta through the Rift. They were enemies of the Soraks even before they entered Solasta. The legends speak of an infernal curse on the peoples, family, and descendants of a priest of Pakri named Igon. Icon's bargain with the Devil Prince had been made in order to save their kingdom, and to also be immune to the control of Soraks. That bargain came at a terrible price, an infernal taint, a curse that produced the tieflings. The bargain failed to save their kingdom, forcing them to flee through the rift. And the centuries since the Cataclysm and the closing of the rift, tieflings have had to live in hard-to-reach places, hiding in the darkest dens beneath cities and in wild, out-of-the-way places. Always outsiders, treated with great suspicion by native Solastans and humans alike. Some say that lack of faith is deserved, and that no creature that has an infernal taint can be fully trusted. We shall let the reader decide the truth of that. And that's the most reading I've had to do in this game. The polar bear. Rumors that the first landlord killed a giant polar bear that was feeding on local travelers. Sorry, feeding, not feeling. On local travelers, frightening away his business. The skin was used as a rug for a while. Is a pervy polar bear running amok. The massive ancient dwarf-built walls of this indomitable tower support huge siege defenses, designed to rain death down upon any foe. No wonder Valkorakapun has never fallen to an enemy attack. The Banner of the Snow Alliance. The five-pointed snowflake symbolizes the 5 clans of the Pact of the Claw, and the Alliance's strength and unity. The gray evokes the beauty of the mountains. The Etelin Vatermerkint's banner, often seen carried by dwarven members of the Antiquarians or Legacy Council. The direwolf symbolizes the cunning, tenacity, and loyalty of the southern clans. The white banner of the Pajolin or Priolin of Vartmerkint represents the savage beauty of the vast Great White, while the Remoraz symbolizes the undying fire that burns in the hearts of all Northern Guardians. Like the Redeemer on their banner, the Keskainen Vartmerkint work together to dig deep into the darkest tunnels, and will rarely visit the surface except to defend the Snow Alliance in times of need. The banner of the Eastern Guardians, like the Snow Bullet emblem, symbolizes the Itainen Vartmerkint's unswerving determination to defend the Snow Alliance, with the blood of its people, if necessary. This is the banner of the Leitinen Vartmerkint, otherwise known as the Western Guardians. Like the Tiger Drake, they're known for swift vengeance and the determined defense of their forests. I guess that is all of them. Okay. Same description as the other sign. The Eulalia? The Eulalia, more commonly known as the Song Speaker of White Rock City, was first built in the 3rd century after the cataclysm by the legendary dwarven smith Story Brighthearth and his friend the elven bard Veralia Lyrilin. The Eulalia was intended not only to create a visually appealing focal point for the city, but also an instrument that could be used as a means of weather prediction, emergency alarm, citywide communication, and occasional entertainment for the city's citizens. When correctly played by trained operators, the Eulalia has multiple uses. It can create a variety of warning siren notes to alert the city and its defenders to imminent dangers to the city. It can also call out prearranged signals that can be heard throughout the city and its caverns, and thus coordinates the city in times of emergency. On feast days and special occasions, the eulalia can also be played by skilled bards to create beautiful and rousing music that entertains the city. When not used as an instrument in this way, the air ducts that feed to it from the outside naturally respond audibly to changes in airflow and air pressure, and thus create a harmonic and accurate barometer of the prevailing weather conditions outside the city, as well as an alert for changes of air quality in the deep mines and caverns below. Man, that thing does a little bit of everything, doesn't it? Kurgle Hammerfell.
Welcome to my humble inn, heroes of the Rift.
You don't have to shout.
I want everyone to hear. You know, marketing.
Any news?
What news, innkeeper?
You can see, the beggars in the streets are making my clients stay at home.
They're fleeing death. They could need some solidarity.
I have kids to feed too.
We'd like to stay for the night.
How about a room for your guests of honor?
Ah, you want a discount, right? You must be filthy rich, though.
Nah.
Fine, you can stay for free, but don't tell anyone, okay?
Thanks.
Alright, what can we get rid of? We could probably get rid of Magic Missile, but I do like it. Misty Step is useful for combat and puzzles. Knock is good. Haste, Counterspell, Fly, Fireball, all essential. Dimension Door. I keep it. With Prismatic Spray for now. I don't think we really need protection from poison. What does cure? I don't want to regenerate. It's not that great. That seems pretty good. On anyone you can see. Or enemies you can see specifically. Grab that. Sounds pretty good. Pretty sure we slept at in this inn. There's Gorms, we were there. City Guard. Didn't we see someone else's name out here somewhere? It looks like we can inspect this banner over here, and then I guess we get to the palace next time. My rock city stretches way off into the frosty mists, winding its way between its city walls. The added hubbub of crowds of Bajolan refugees rising from below marks these unusual times. Or I saw someone else's name floating around. Was it Hammerfell? I guess it was. Also, we didn't inspect this yet. Arnis Varthar, champion of the War of Sorrow, 100 BC to 186. This immense statue broods menacingly as it looks across the city that it dominates. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna call it here. Next time, we will visit the Central Palace and see if we can't speak to these 4 representatives. Well, I guess 5, if you include Vigdis. Also, he is over encumbered. There we go. Alright, gonna call it here. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.